Good evening, all. I welcome you all to the interview with Inspirations, which is an initiative by Skills Rediscovery platform. Skills Rediscovery is an e-learning platform and Asia's largest skill-based platform. Good evening to you, sir. Today we have with us Mr.
Good evening.
Dr. Vaibhav R. Anshar. He's currently serving as assistant professor at KES Shroff College, Mumbai, and he has 14 plus years of experience in teaching. He holds PhD degree in commerce and management and has also written several research paper and co-authored several books. And he's very dedicated towards education. So we are really happy to have you with us today, sir.
Thank you so much, Nidhi. It's
Yes.
always a pleasure to speak with all the inspirational leaders and inspirations. So you are doing a good job, and your company is doing a good job. So thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Yes, sir. Sir, I would like to know about your journey since the beginning of your career, sir.
Well, my journey began as, to be very frank enough, never thought that I would be a teacher, or as many of them in Mumbai feel so. Uh, the biggest drawback that I felt was that we never got any kind of inspiration, or we never got any kind of mentorship or any kind of guidance for where to go about it. Uh, my journey started long back in 1997 when I completed my 10th standard. Life was a bit unknown territories, but once I completed my 12th standard, where I was a very average student. To be very frank enough, I was a very average student. My scores in 10th are, I cannot even say that on a platform like this. But 12th standard, somehow something struck. An average student getting out of 196 is not something which is very easy to digest for him also. So from that onwards, I think I gave it to my 12th standard, where I think I started believing in myself that I can do something good. And from that point of time, it started. Then I took the journey as the way it came around. Till the time in 2007 when I joined my current institution, I was not even aware that there is something called as an qualifying exam for a teacher. So till the 10 years, I was like absolutely clueless about it. And that is why I really believe that mentors and inspirational leaders, like what Skill Rediscovery is doing, is something which is very important, that you need to have mentors. You need to have inspirational sources where you come and converse with them and talk about your journey and what you want to go through. Most of the problem, I think, would get solved. So that was my starting, and then there was no looking back. I think this institution where I am, I think I have not looked back. We have just gone strength to strength. When I joined this institution, I was probably, there were only 2,000 students. Today we are having nearly 6,500 students. So in this journey of 14 years, I think we are very happy. We are very fortunate, and we are bringing a lot of plethora of things with us. That's what my journey is all about.
Okay, so sir, you mentioned somewhere while you were speaking that it was never your goal to be a professor or to come into the teaching profession. It all
Yes.
happened. So I would like to know, sir, then what was your goal when you were young? People mostly aspire to become astronauts,
Uh,
doctors.
actually speaking, I was more inclined towards financial markets more.
Okay.
So post completion of my graduation, I bought the first share of my. I would say my family. The first person to buy shares was I. So I bought the first shares of a particular company, and then I kept on buying a lot of shares. 2008, when I joined my college in 2007. This institution where I'm currently working in 2007. 2008 was a very bad patch of time for all the financial market professionals, because the subprime crisis had hit, and that was a time where I think very few people even understood what is going to happen now next. So that's the time I got a hard fact check on myself. It was a slap without being hit. So a slap which was without being hit is more powerful than a slap being hit. So I realized at that point of time it's very better to move out. And I used to do a lot of trading into shares. So in just one day, I lost the whole package which I used to get from college, and that's where the hard fact of reality came. So there was no as such a goal, and that is what I say. That mentors and inspirationals are so important that they give you goal where you want to go. They talk to you, they speak to you, they say that what is your goal in life, and that's very important. That's very that maybe certain students are probably focusless, but then somebody asks them, then they at least start thinking, they start pondering at what I need to do. So
Yes.
that is where I started. So that is, there was no as such a goal. The goal was only that I would want to have money and do my work, and that's it. There was no goal. But now when I'm there, I feel that there is certain goals we are, and I'm moving into that right direction of achieving those goals.
Okay, yes. Basically, the thing is, people don't realize their potential, and
Absolutely, absolutely.
mentors are needed so that they could actually students could actually know what they are and what they where they stand.
Yes, very true, Nidhi.
Yes, sir. I would also like to know what are the challenges you face in withstanding the complexities of your industry, sir.
Complexity, as in, there were too many complexities. The first, as I said, that I was not aware about what are the qualifying exams. Uh, I could be a very good teacher, but as it is said in India, knowledge is one thing, but a knowledge with certificate is a billion thing. So that's something which I think I believe in. I know that there will be some students who would counter argue that why certificate is such an important thing. The certificate becomes such an important thing as such. I'm not saying with respect to that you would not be able to be successful, but that mindset needs to be changed, and that is probably when we reach to the next level of our questions. I think we would be able to say that why certification is not that important. Your knowledge, your skill level and your improving of those level is important. So the first complexity which I faced was probably coping up with all these the university requirements, the regulation which are there. So then I came to know that I need to qualify my exam, and then only I will be called as a teacher. Otherwise, I am not going to be called as a faculty or a professor or anything. So that was the first complexity. Later on, I realized. So, for example, any field that any student chooses, the first thing that he needs to know is what are the promotional levels. He should enter into the field and then should start thinking that what are the promotional levels.
Mm-hmm.
And nobody is going to stay in that same position for 10 years. That becomes a monotonous thing. And if you're not even aware that you are going to remain in that position for 10 long years, then what are you going to do? You need to think about it.
Yes, yes, sir.
Everybody needs to think about it. So those kind of complexities where you are don't be into a cupboard. You need to come out. You need to be open. Just don't be into a box. The box has to be rattled. The box has to be come out, and then only probably entering is fine, but then start understanding that how you have to go ahead, how you have to move ahead. What are, there will we also face a lot of complexities. For example, at times there were students who were very different. How to tackle them? There will be students who had problems with their personal life. Parents are not gelling up together, and those students, we think that student at the age of 18 years is more mature enough, but it's not that way. The person who has not handled those kind of a thing, how will he be able to speak to you? So those were the challenges, like students who are very creepy, who are very kind of either you have more and being at a very young age. I mean, I joined this college when I had never done, or in this institutions where I was starting, I had never uh, uh, dealt with such kind of a student because I was myself a very young. So how to manage these students, how to speak with them, that was a challenge. So now I feel that this is a life learning curve that you have to go through. You need to speak, you need to gel with them, so that becomes more easy. So complexities, as in that is why I say that you have a role model or inspiration, and then you can follow on those steps, and then you can talk with them, you can speak with them, and you can take a cue from their life, that how they have managed it. So complexities were there, but I'm very fortunate enough that I've been able to cope up all these things.
Yes, sir. So you mentioned that there was actually some, you were not, you're very small when you started teaching, you came into this profession,
Y-
right? So
Yes.
do you think that there is lack of skill teaching in our education system? Because of that, you were not that confident or not that,
Ye-
uh,
ye- Yes, absolutely. I think it would be very unfair if any teacher who doesn't know or understand how to teach. See, everybody, teaching is an art,
yes,
and that art has to be gelled. But today's, when I see the new generation, like, I mean, I'm also young enough, I'm not that old enough, but when I say that kind of a thing, that today's generation, their problems are very different. And I think that emotional connect has to be there with that student. So that emotional bonding has to be there. Unless and until you don't have those kind of thing, you will the student doesn't open up. And with this COVID-19 situation, which is, I mean, 1.5 year, we all are caged into our houses, and everybody has a problem. Unfortunately, my city is into a more problem. Mumbai is into a deeper problems, and every day I get calls from my student that, sir, my uncle has expired, my auntie has gone away or passed away. So it is a sad situation, and that's where a teacher role becomes more and more powerful. uh, Subject knowledge we all have, but I think that that kind of a bonding and that kind of connect may not be there, and that is where the skills have to be there for every teacher. Rather than, I mean, if I am a finance professor in my college, in my institution, I'm a finance professor. Apart from finance, I think if a student comes to me and asks me that, sir, my this problem is taking place, and if I can't answer him because I'm not a psychology professor, that doesn't sound good, because every student has a bonding with a particular teacher. He or she may like a particular teacher, and he might feel that he would answer my question, he would solve my problem. If today I say to a student that this is not my work, what will happen is, from tomorrow onwards, he may not even ask any question to any other teacher. So this is not what I believe in. I believe that every student has his own ways and means to deal with this current situation, but we need to be a catalyst. We need to help them out. We need to solve their problem. I mean, that is what it is. This new age where we call it as that we should be a problem. We know that there is a problem, but we need to be a solution provider rather than be just asking, raising questions with respect to problems.
yes,
That
yes.
is what I would say, Nidhi.
Okay. So, you said that you have been in your college, you've been teaching there for over 14 years now. So, tell us more
Absolutely.
about your institute and what does it offer to students, something new which is not there in other. Should I repeat my
Um,
question?
no, no, no. I understood your
Yes.
question. Very happy that you have raised this question with respect to my institution. As I said, when I joined this institution, I was teaching to a batch of 36 students, just 36.
Okay.
And the course that I was teaching, we had only one division in that point of time, 2007. But in 14 years, we have transformed from, firstly, my institution was not a NAC accredited institution. So we became a NAC accredited institution. We have cleared our two uh, cycles. For our first cycle score was 3.16. Today, it is 3.27. So 𝐾EH College is gaining strength to strength, I would say. Uh, our whole functionalities was only towards BCom, but today we are multifaceted institution. We have uh, probably every course under the commerce umbrella into us. We are very happy to announce that in 2019-20 we became an autonomous college, which is a very big deal. Today we've launched last year, even in this COVID times, we could launch many new courses. For example, we launched our BCom FinTech, that is financial technology, which is one of the best program that we could have brought on the table for the students, because we thought that FinTech, the role of financial technology is growing day in day out.
Yes.
And you can understand that, like, I take a cue from one of the quote, like, what SBI could do in 200 years in the terms of, I would say, State Bank of India could do, the number of account holders that they could create in 200 years. That took HDFC Bank probably 20-25 years to do it. And same thing, what HDFC Bank did in 25 years, a company like Zerodha or a company like Upstocks have been able to do it in 2 years. So you can understand the number of time, the number of years taken to achieve those kind of a strength is, or the years is dwindling very fast. And you can have some other company from and I would wish that one student from my college comes out and makes this kind of a company, a unicorn kind of a company, which is more than $1 billion worth. So I would so this is where my institution is motto is to build these kind of students, build this kind of program. So we launched BCom FinTech. We have also launched BSc Data Science. We also have launched MSc Finance, and we have launched MSc AI and MSc Data Science. So this is where my college is growing strength to strength. We are very happy that we have nearly 15 undergraduate programs and 10 PG programs. So we're gaining strength to strength, and I'm very happy to uh, say that my institution has been a big helping hand to many students in achieving their dreams.
Okay, sir. Sir, I would also like, do your college provide any add-on course? There's this new trend of 1 month certificate courses, 2 month certificate courses, which colleges are providing these days.
Yes, we do provide add-on programs to students. As I said that like skills are such an important aspect. Syllabus are a bit handicapped. They cannot give you everything.
Yes, sir.
They have certain restrictions towards it. So that is the reason that I always tell to my students that you need to take something add on, something extra. And our college is, I'm very happy that we have got nearly 44 certificate courses, which we are providing to students. And very happy that many of the students do take this. And due to this, many of the students take it as an add-on, and then they use these things on practical approach. For example, I'll tell you that we have a course on financial market research analyst, and
Mhm.
many of my students are very happy with that course, and they started buying and selling shares into this market, and they're saying that we are able to complete a fees of 1 year of the college. So
That's
we are very fortunate enough. So these are, I mean, I don't tell them that be on cloud nine
Mhm.
because of just you are able to get 18,000, 19,000. That doesn't mean that you be on cloud nine, but but it helps. It helps a lot. It helps them to compete with the best of the institutions, the best of the students, whether it is from the prestigious IIMs or the JBIMS or SPJ. So we are somewhere par with them. So that is what I would say. My students are doing a lot of work. There are many certification courses that we have launched in this autonomous period.
okay, so sir, you already elaborated on a few points like what is your current department going through? Like it's actually in a area where finance is actually growing. People are coming into finance and learning, taking degree in finance.
Yes,
So can you be
yes.
more specific and elaborate as to what current circumstances are in your department or how much students enrollment is happening?
Well, as I said that we are very fortunate enough. We, as an institution, as in my department of finance, we did not have that kind of a problem with respect to COVID-19. We, in fact, have increased our numbers. And how we have increased our numbers is all credit goes to my team. All credit goes to my institution, head of the institution. She has been our inspirational force, and she has been working right behind us, motivating us, at times even scolding us. But I think that scolding helps at times to grow ahead and to take us ahead with respect to students enrollment has been good because I think that works for us, and our record has been good because our teaching has been good.
Yes.
uh, we have not faced such kind of a problems with respect to our enrollments going down. uh, and the reason I could give is to because of my teachers, and the other would be because of the programs that we have launched. We are launching new age
Yes.
programs which probably are not being heard by many of institutions, programs which are not run of the mill. They are all something which is helping students, and probably when they go out of this institution, I won't say that the job is ready in their hand. It is, you have to work hard on it. But I can say that we have tried our level best. It's a very simple proverbial thing that you can take the horse to the well, but drinking the water is the horse's work. It's not our work. So we have built the well. We have asked the horses are there with us. Now whether to drink and then use it and do consume the water, it is his choice. So that is why I can say. But we are very happy. We are very committed towards students' work.
Okay, so that's
That is what I can say now.
yes, sir. You already mentioned you have these courses, data science and financial technology. All these are new, and I haven't heard of fintech as of now. Yes.
Yes, yes. And I think because we believe that fintech is something which is going to take India to a newer levels, because after China, we have even in COVID times we have changed the whole psychology of people investing in India for the fintech, because we have got such a big market of fintech. And if those students who just keep on reading new things, they would understand that the next unicorns are coming from fintech itself.
Yes, sir.
So
Yes, sir.
whether it is cred, or whether it is payu money, or whether it is zero dha up stocks, these are all ideas which are coming out through that only. So I always give this example to my students that just understand how the jobs have changed. Previously, when you used to visit a bank, used to be a cashier, there used to be a person to give you the money, there used to be a person who would be ready to print your passbooks. Now today, what has happened? Just look the change around you and you will understand there's no need of cashier, there's no need of the payment person, because there's an ATM. For cash, you have a machine where you can deposit. And for passbook, what you do is you just enter the passbook on your own. In fact, I have been seeing those days also where for checkbook, if you have to pay by check, there was a person who used to just give that stamp on it on the slip book. And today that, so your four posts have gone. All these four posts, your technology is taking away. Just understand the market of India, and you will understand that two banks very off late are winding up and going away from India. Citibank is one of that bank, and the other is First Rand Bank of South Africa. They are shutting their shops, because they know that India, it is difficult to do business. Only those who have the very heavy heart can survive over here.
Yes,
So
sir.
that is what you need to understand. That is what they need to do. Change is the only thing which is constant, and that is where student has to realize that complacency kills growth. And I always believe in that. That you cannot be complacent. You need to keep on doing. So it's like your company, like yours, who's into skills rediscovery or who's into skills. I really feel that you will be taking those things. So for example, if I'm also not knowing everything. I mean, I'm not God enough that I know everything. So if I have a problem, I still go and learn. I still go and see where have I made mistake, where I've done. So that is why you need to keep on being. There is no place for complacency or being complacent. You cannot do that. You'll have to go ahead and keep on doing. You'll have to keep on learning.
Yes.
Gone are those age where we say that, oh, I'll have a government sector job and then I can keep my feet up on the table and I can rest. That's gone are those days. You need to come out of those Alice in Wonderland kind of a thing. You'll have to work. You'll have to work. I mean, in India, this was the mental tendency of Indians. To be very frank, no offense to them, but today look at our government. Those who were non-performers in UPSC have asked them to leave. You can understand,
Yes.
non-performers cannot
Not
survive.
celebrated anymore. Yes, sir.
Yes, absolutely. You need to perform or perish. Otherwise, and we put forward this: you also perform, innovate or perish. If you don't innovate, then also you'll perish. So you need to be innovative in your
Yes.
fields.
Yes. Or else you'll be outdated soon enough and you'll be
Oh yes,
replaced by someone
absolutely.
else.
Yes, absolutely.
Yes. So, what's your take on the new education policy which the NDA government has recently brought up?
It's very good. It's very innovative, as we were talking about. not only innovative, it's something which takes you to a higher level. So for example, even we had dropouts. So for example, a student coming, I mean, I'm taking just one part of that new education policy, which mentions about the credit banks, which is a good preposition and a good theory. So I really welcome that new education policy with respect to dropouts. For example, a post completion of your first year, you're not able to continue due to certain reasons, and you may come back after 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, and you want to continue. That is possibility is there. So there's no harm in it. You can continue with your things. So like for completion of first year, you get a certificate.
Yes.
Completion of your second year, you get an advanced certification, and post completion of your third year, you get a graduation
Graduation
degree.
degree.
Fourth year, if you want to continue, then there is this system of what you call it as integrated masters is something which is good
Yes.
enough. It's a need of the hour, and we are moving in that right direction. I also welcome certain things on B.Ed, which make 2 years compulsory for a teacher's training. As we started this interview, we said about that teachers training, touching upon that more towards the student's psychology rather than knowledge. Knowledge, everybody has it. My knowledge will remain with me only. Nobody can take away my knowledge.
Yes. Yes.
What knowledge I have or what knowledge, madam, you will be having, nobody can take it over. It's an intangible thing
Mhm.
unless and until you just keep it. But I always say that knowledge kept with yourself is redundant unless and until you don't spread that knowledge. So you need to keep on spreading those knowledge. So I really believe that this new education policy's vision is very good, and probably that is the reason that we are not seeing that much opposition on this. So
Yes,
I
sir.
think that's one of the achievement of NDA, and it took a lot of 36 years it took to bring on it on table. So I congratulate them for this.
So, do you think some points or somewhere it's ideal for us to achieve it as of now in the present situation?
Yes, yes, absolutely, absolutely. Present situation is more conducive for higher education to bring on this changes, whatever the new education policy have suggested. I think it is more conducive in this environment.
Yes, sir.
So it would be really good. You need to be innovative. You need to be skillful on that. I think you will achieve a
We'll
lot of
achieve it.
greatness. So I think every strata of the policy and decision makers have to combine, whether it's a technology person or a educationist. So that is why probably edtech company are the next huge thing. By I mean, there are many companies in edtech who are doing. They have become more than unicorn. They're not just a unicorn now. So it's that kind of a vision that is being created. So they are there, but to be very frank, if I can tell you our research, because we have been conducting research. So, for example, we started when this online started last August. That time when we started, that what students would prefer, and most of my 6,000 students preferred to be online. Over a period of time, when we asked in January, the ratio was 50-50. That 50% wanted online, 50% wanted offline. Now when we come towards probably 1 year is coming to an end of our journey of this online education and online teaching learning, we have a percentages where 70% say that online and offline mixture should be there.
Yes, sir. Blend.
15% still prefer online, and 15% prefer it to be offline still. So the percentage now is changing towards blended learning, because unless and until face to face learning doesn't come, that teaching doesn't become. And the same scenario, in fact, more of my research was that 90% of the teachers would want to prefer offline rather than being online, because end of the day we are human beings. We want to see our students, we want to see them,
The social
bring
media.
out some new innovations. And unfortunately online is not helping out to bring out those innovations in them. There are certain students who are doing, but our percentage of innovation has gone a bit down. But otherwise it's fine. I can understand the current situation is such that remaining indoors is way better than coming outdoors.
Yeah, as for
But
present.
I hope that blended learning is something which is the future of this education system. Blended learning will become. blended learning is combination of online and offline. So it will become, because we keep on doing this research on our students and keep on asking them these questions. And our class size, or my student size is nearly 6,000 students are there in my institution.
Yes, sir. Online learning somewhere restricts the overall development of a person.
Yeah, it's true. And another thing is that till what time you will keep on asking questions. So I take from the student's mind, and I see from a student's mind what he starts thinking, that how many times should I keep on asking questions to my faculty, to my professors. At times he might find offensive.
Yes.
So that also makes him a bit jittery with respect to online. But if it's offline, then he can keep on meeting him, he can keep on talking with him. He
Yes.
can it's not, I never say that my students disturb me. I mean, I always believe in that my students are my assets. They are the biggest assets that I have created in my this 14 years of journey,
Yes.
and I'll keep on creating such kind of assets. So I am not interested in house, car, or whatever big gadgets, but my assets are on field. So probably in the next 15 years, when I retire, I will have created nearly 50,000 assets for this nation. So that's what I believe in.
Yes, sir. Sir, we would like to have your suggestion on the current employability situation or the students on employability challenge. Because lots of
Uh, yeah,
students have.
it's I request, that is why, to even skill discovery company like you, skill rediscovery, to bring those things where skills keep on, because what is relevant today probably becomes irrelevant tomorrow. So your role becomes like, college is also a role, our institutions are also a role model, but as I said, syllabus is a bit what I would say, syllabus is a bit handicapped, because we need to cover things as per the UGC guidelines, as per the guidelines provided by government. So we cannot include everything. And at times, peer pressure from parents and from friends, a student chooses something. So we really believe that companies who are having like yours, skill rediscovery, where online platform you are providing, so you need to keep on making those journey of the student, that what he is keeping on learning. And there are certain apps which I would not name here, but they just give I mean, they give anything to the student. So what happens? Garbage in, garbage out. It's all like that only. So, but if, for example, a student who keeps on taking three courses on finance, and then if he moves to is somewhere into IT, or in somewhere into core IT, there's something should be talked with that student. There should be some kind of a mentoring, that what is you planning to do. I mean, it's quite jumbled up. And sitting in front of an interviewer, when I say that I have done in my first year a course on financial markets, in second year on derivatives market of finance, and in third year I took some Java course, would it match? The interviewer will say that you have something, you have not never understood yourself only. So please understand yourself and then come back to us.
Yes,
So
sir.
in that case, that kind of a process should be there, where these companies keep on companies like you keep on tracking a student and say that you are going on something, there is a different. So I always say to a student that just keep on taking. For example, if a student with derivatives has gone with respect to a C++ in coding, I would allow him to take it. Why? Because I would feel that you are trying to become technology and finance. So fintech comes into picture somewhere. Not only a C++, but it can be something to do with a programming code. So if he's taking a programming code, I would be very happy with him. Or if he's taking something on RPA, that is robot process automation, I would be very happy with him. If he's taking AI, that's fine. Artificial intelligence is the next big thing, which is it's already a big thing. It's not a next big thing, it's already a big thing. So artificial intelligence or a machine learning kind of a course that he takes, then I think he probably is entering into a right path. But if he is entering into some different kind of a thing, that after doing 2 3 courses he says that no, my forte is acting, that becomes somewhere, some guidance needs to be there with that student, that what is exactly happening. That psychosis has to be tracked. That if Still he says that I do the same thing, like I keep a track of my students batch, that where they are moving. Okay, they have done this course. Now somebody says that, sir, I want to do acting, and then I have to come and say that 3 years you have given to finance, now you want to be into acting. I have no issues, but you need to think of yourself,
Yes, sir.
because all of a sudden if you want to change certain things, and it doesn't it doesn't come out brilliantly towards them, or it doesn't come out, there needs to be some kind of balance of it. So the current scenario with respect to employment is somewhat like that only, because as I said, mentors, inspirationals have not come to them, or they have never tried to go them. So that becomes a problem. No guidance coming to them. So where to go for guidance, where to take guidance, and it becomes problem. And another thing is, I request to even parents, if a student says that he would want to enter into a different kind of a field, his forte is never finance, or his forte is never commerce, then I think I always request such kind of parents that why not, let them go, let them do.
What they want.
Success will always come to them. So but I have seen in my 14 years of this institution, many parents forcing their students to take up this course just because they want to take that. That's not the way, that's not the correct way. Let the student decide what he wants to do, let him take the journey what he wants to take. 18 years pe we can, we can choose the government, if I'm not wrong.
Yes, sir.
Then
You
why
can
don't
vote.
we give him that why don't we give him that choice of choosing his or her own career?
Career. Yes, sir.
Yeah, so why not?
So in Indian education system, I also feel there is a tendency that whatever the majority is doing, people follow that path.
Oh, that's a herd mentality, that's a very big problem.
Yes, sir.
That's a problem which I feel. I thought that it's only in Mumbai. Even in Delhi, it is same.
So all over India, I feel, sir.
Oh yeah. Okay,
If
so that's the same kind of nature we have. Yeah, it's a big problem. So if my friend is doing this course, I will also go into that. Or parents will say, "Ki my neighbor is doing this course, so you need to also do engineering."
and
The student is not interested into engineering, boss. He wants to be an artist, so why not let him take that? What will happen? What is wrong? The biggest problem is that we are not teaching our students to take failures.
yes,
Let failures come. I always tell in my class that read stories of failures. It's okay. What will happen? You will also fail. Fair enough. Let there cannot be success without failures.
yes,
I have failed in my life. I'll tell you, I have failed in my life. And if you ask to every inspirational leaders, or you ask to any person who are successful, they will say that yes, I have failed in my life. I take the example of Sachin Tendulkar. The first game that he played, he did not score 100. I take the example of MS Dhoni, who for first 3 games was on 0, 1, and 13 runs. Failures cannot come on day one. Or success cannot come, sorry, on day
yes,
one.
sir. Yes, sir.
It takes time. You become successful only, it takes time. So probably today I'm sitting in front of you and doing interview, so it doesn't mean that I was successful on day one, not at all. I was a disaster on my day one. I was a disaster on day one. Before joining this institution, I was into a college where I couldn't speak, I couldn't open my mouth. So it's but I've but introspected on myself and realized that, oh, that's something which is going wrong. If I can't speak, then what am I going to do?
It's just
And that is
motivate.
why I also tell to my students is there are many students who come to me and say that, sir, my communication skill is worst. I cannot communicate. I fear. I said that, boss, if you are saying this before every lecture, I have jitters in my feet. I also feel that way, but it is very good because that gives me my feet gives jitters, but my head says that's the kick that you want. So I go and perform over there. I'm a performer even when I stand in front of my students. So I'm also a performer.
Yes, sir.
So that is where I believe that students have this communication problem. So what I say is to them is, if you have a communication problem, start speaking, start conversing with every person that you meet. Whether you meet a rickshawala or whether you meet any person, you start conversing. And why? Because networking is net worth. You never know. Networking is net worth, and it will change your whole life. It will change your whole life the more networks that you have on your plate. That's
Yes,
very much important.
true, sir. Sir, no interview I think can go without on having a question on COVID. So even this interview has a question on COVID. So what do
Not
you what do you think the education fraternity should learn from the situation, sir? From the overall COVID impact or pandemic?
a lot. I think a lot. I think problems, as we say that problems are father of innovations. So
Yes, sir.
COVID is something which is a problem, and it has brought a lot of innovations into education sector.
Yes, sir.
A lot has been done, but a lot needs to be done. So, for example, we have come. I can say on behalf of the education fraternity that Zoom, Cisco WebEx, Microsoft Teams, we have done with it, but we have not reached to the hearts. We have reached to the classrooms or houses of the students, but we have not reached to their hearts.
Yes,
We need to reach those students' hearts. The problems in families are huge. I mean, it's immense problems are there with these children. I mean, it gives me goosebumps with respect to those small children who are in family and somebody is falling sick. It gives me goosebumps on those count that how would that child who is just a 10-year-old, how would he take that? And there we need empathy. There we need teachers with empathy. There we need teachers need to listen to their students.
yes, sir.
In my class, I never say them that let's today learn something. I never say that. I'm not. I say them one thing only, that I don't teach you. I am not here to teach you. I'm here to learn with you.
Yes,
So I don't teach you. I'm here to learn with you. Let's learn something new, and I hope that your families are fine. That empathy has to be there with every teacher. Reaching to their homes is fine enough. On an online, we are able to see their homes. We are able to see their houses, but I think we need to reach to their students' heart and minds, and we need to open it up a bit more. Uh, yes, there are problems in everybody's life, but I think a smile puts away all the problems aside. Uh, s- because 24 hours, we let's say we take 8 hours of sleep and 2 hours of other work, so 10 hours, 14 hours. These are small children. These are children only. I would say these are children, 18 who are 21 or even a 10-year-old. These are children who need what is going to happen. So I am very optimistic with respect to whatever situation we are in. I nowadays don't use this word positive. It's a very dangerous word
yes,
using
sir.
positive. I use optimistic word. So something with so I'm very optimistic with what is going to happen. Things are bad if only you think so. Things will be better if you start thinking that way, and things will be beautiful if you think that. So I always am optimistic with things which are there. Yes, COVID-19 has slowed down our meeting with students, but the things will improve and things will be better off. This teaching has not stopped, learning has not stopped. So the teachers are teaching throughout. Learning is not yet stopped. So I really welcome this move by rediscovery to reach out to many. So I really feel that you have reached out to many. Need to reach out to more people.
So your
Probably, yeah.
the stance you have is quite different. So people are usually now very negative, or they consider COVID as something which is very bad, or have basically devastated their life.
I I mean, yes. See, things would have happened. Now, was it your fault? Was it my fault? It's nobody's fault, and we are paying the price of, probably I would put in to some other misdeeds which have happened by. We are responsible for climate change. Who's
Yes, sir.
responsible for
Yes,
climate change? We are responsible. We today the oxygen that we wanted, we have cut the trees, and now today we are striving hard to get those oxygen. Whether it's uh, Mumbai, whether it's Bangalore, whether it's Delhi, whether it's any part of this country, we are gasping for that air only. Nobody knew that we will have to. So I think this will put some brains in those heads who feel that trees are not important, or what is climate change. I think they will understand now why the climate change is so much important question. So I think yes, like our prime minister says, "Apada mein avsar."
Mm.
So this is an apada.
You have to learn
You need to
lessons.
completely change yourself. Negativity से कुछ भी नहीं होने वाला.
Yes, sir.
I mean, negativity say nothing will happen. You need to bring out those positivity, because in front of you there is a child. Can you tell them that, oh, this is gone, this is gone, this is gone? No, nothing is gone unless and until you are there. Like I play cricket. I play cricket and I watch cricket a lot. And cricket is such a game that yesterday's SRH versus DC Delhi Capitals went a little super over. Who have thought that in end DC will win the match? So I see a lot cricket, and I believe that till the last wicket, until the last ball is bowled, nothing is impossible. Everything is possible. So that's what the beauty of life is. Why should we think that way? Till my last breath of life, I think we should be positive. All things
Yes,
are bad, but it will improve, and something good only will come out of it.
yes. So we'll wrap this interview with last question. And the question is, how much do you think the current education system is blended with skill? Or how far are we in actually reaching to that stage?
Blended with skill, I would say my answer would be a bit of macro, if you allow me. I'll
Yes, sir.
Because uh, this is the very education system of our schooling which has given us probably Satya Nadella or Sundar Pichai. I'm a very big advocate of our school education system. I think there's somewhere we gone wrong with our higher education, because this is the very system which produced these great minds. This
Yes,
is the very system which produced Abdul Kalam also.
yes,
So somewhere this higher education, I think, needs a relook, a reworking, and somewhere it needs even the. I'm a firm believer in the social status of how we approach to a person, and I think that is very important. We look upon to a person with MA and doing a watchman kind of a work. We look upon to him as MA and watchman. It's okay. That's fine. There's no problem. There's no harm. So we in our institution have developed a system which is inheritance building, or inherit building of our peons. So for example, one of our peon joined as 12th pass, and today he is graduate. And now we are giving him that skill, that making him learn about a computer, making him learn about Microsoft Word, Excel, PowerPoint, and probably he would be into the office as a clerk.
yes, yes, yes.
And we see that that kind of a thing. This is not just one tune. We have another tune also who's working. So I am sorry if I am calling him as a tune. He's not a tune. He's our part of our workforce. He's part of our team,
Yes, sir.
and he's more important to us uh, for we being performing our duties in front of the students. So yes, there is a problem with a skill based course in our curriculum, but it boils down end of the day to a person to person, how does he wants to build himself up.
Yes, sir.
There are nearly 22 peons in my class 4 employees in my college, and out of those 22, two took it as a very positive thing, that no, we want to come up, and they kept on studying, they kept on taking help of our professors. And probably today I feel very happy with this kind of an uh, people from lower strata are being low, or the below pyramid are being brought to higher authorities, higher level. That makes a lot of difference. That gives others also confidence that this is what we need to
Yes,
do.
sir.
Yes, with respect to your question, uh, education system with skill is a bit problematic, and that is where that gap has to be filled, like institution like you and me. And we need to work on that. We need to see what does the student, what does even the higher ups who have reached to an higher. It's not like that, no, that they are going to remain at higher. For example, in this COVID situation, I just had a talk with my one of my friend who is into one corporate, and he said that uh, the higher authorities have all been left. They have been removed from the company. Now the person who leaves, what has gone wrong with him? Has something gone wrong? No, he's not gone wrong, but he needed to change something in his attitude, in his the way he performs his duties, or something on that count. So that is where we need to, we need to build a partnership with you, and we need to build a partnership where it's not only, for example, my alumni comes lot of times. My older alumni who've been like 10 years pass out, they come to us and they say that, sir, I am thinking that this is a lacuna in me, because in this 10 years, the whether you talk about finance, you talk about banking, you talk about IT, you talk about media, everything has changed.
Yes, sir.
The most, for example, how did we get connected? We have got connected through LinkedIn.
Yes.
We got connected through LinkedIn. Now, who in this world would have thought this would have been possible 10 years, 15 years ago? This would have never been possible. And I got connected with you on LinkedIn through a person who's sitting in Canada.
Yes.
So that's something which is changed. So had this COVID happened 15 years back, I think then there could have been a problem of civil disobedience. But we are very fortunate. I think COVID has happened in such a time where, I mean, it should not have happened. Absolutely. I'm sorry for using that word. It should never have happened, this kind of COVID. Uh, uh, but this problem, has created, or the skills, we I think we are more fortunate, because uh, my mother is taking smartphone. She is a 68-year-old and she is trying to do work with smartphone now.
That's
So
it.
that's something which has changed. She is trying her level best. My son teaches him how to use a smartphone. And think about it, my son, who's just a 12-year-old, who's able to teach him smartphone more better than I being a teacher. I don't have that much patience, but my son has that much patience to teach my mother how the usage of smartphone is. So this is what world is, changed a lot in this 10, 15 years. And if this change you are seeing is huge, just wait for another 10 years. It will be drastically changed.
Yes, sir.
So that's what I can say, that skills are going to require a percentage of skill. If somebody asks me is as a syllabus, I would not be able to comment on that. I mean, in percentage terms, it would be very hard on me to comment, because I always tell to my students that you need to, bring new things on the table, and you need to develop new things on it. That is what I can say now.
So, do you think this NEP, National Education Policy, will be able to achieve this thing?
I hope so. Yes, I am very optimistic with NEP that it will achieve. It will achieve. Uh, Time will tell. It's
Yes, sir.
still a very new thing, but time will tell. But I am very optimistic that we will achieve a lot of things through this NEP. Lot of
Okay.
things.
Okay, so we are wrapping this interview. Thank you so
Thank you
much,
so
sir.
much.
I'm very sure all your advice and suggestion will inspire many of our viewers. So, do you have any ending note you'd like to tell to our viewers? Anything you'd like to add?
I'll just like to add is keep learning. That's what I can say. That's
Ye-
the
Yes,
whole purpose of we both meeting on an interview panel. So keep learning, and success will come. That's what I can end on.
yes. Throughout the interview, you used many quotes. So, I'm sure many people will draw inspiration even out of those quotes. So, yes,
That's the way.
thank you for your presence. Thank you so much
Thank
for
you so
being with
much, Nidhi.
us today, sir.
Thank you so much, Nidhi.
Yes.
My pleasure.
No, sir, it's our pleasure to have you connected in such a short time and you gave us your time.
No issues. Thank you so much.
Thank-
Can I leave?
Yes, sir, you can. Thank you so much.
Thank you.